Are you looking for a little inspiration in your business? Do you have a passion for the skincare industry and the sweet art of body sugaring? Are you an esthetician who's curious about what this body sugar craze is all about? Well, join me and my knowledgeable colleagues, alumni, and experts in our industry for a fun-filled video show that is your go-to for all things sweet. Hello, everyone. In this episode of The Sugar Show, I am thrilled to bring you Diane Buccola, my very dear friend and colleague in this fun-filled industry. We have been friends for a lot of years, and I know that you have seen her if you have been at any of the skincare shows and seen her as a speaker. You have heard about her on baseboard.com as the founder, and she has just been an advocate for estheticians and a really dear friend of mine for a long time, and I wanted to introduce her to all of you. So, welcome, Diane.
Hi, Sugar Mama. Thank you for having me. I'm really excited to be here. This is fun.
I know, it is kind of fun, huh?
Absolutely.
You know, that's what this whole life should be about, is having some fun and doing things a little out of the box. So thank you for thinking out of the box with me. I know that some people don't love to be on video, but I appreciate you for being here, and so do the estheticians, and I think this is going to be a good day. So here we go.
I'm ready.
I love it. So tell me a little bit about yourself and what it is that you do and how you got into this industry from the very beginning.
Ooh, boy, going way back. I still don't really know what to call myself. I don't really know what my title is. People say, what do you do? I'm like, well, you know, I do a lot of this and a lot of that. But I was a court reporter for many years.
Okay.
In the 80s, and had a successful business, and then I got married and had a baby, and as a lot of us know, priorities just magically shift once you have a baby, and going back to that profession just wasn't a fit all of a sudden. So I decided to follow a dream, knowing absolutely nothing about the spa business.
Right.
And my dream wasn't really to be an esthetician. I wanted to be like the owner of a wellness center, but I knew to be successful at that, I had to really know how to do everything from cleaning the toilets to giving a facial. So I put myself through aesthetic school. And then I did what I don't recommend anybody ever doing. I went right from school to opening a business. And the reason I did that is because I really didn't want to be an esthetician. I wanted to own a business. It's a hard way to do things, and I wouldn't really advise anybody to do it that way, but I did. So I started as the only esthetician. Was the only everything, and I ended up falling in love with the treatment room and the clients, and then I stayed in the treatment room for 12 years. What the heck?
It happens to the best of us.
I know. So eventually I had to sell my spa because we moved, and I was commuted for as long as I could and kept my son in the school in the town where the spa was, but it got to be too much, so I had to sell it. And it's still going today. It's been sold a couple times and still going. So I think I started it. Well, yeah, it's rocking and rolling.
Baby is being
my baby
nurtured. Yeah, that's awesome.
Good. And then I went solo after that. And then really my passion is the business side and the marketing side and the making estheticians successful. That really is what I'm passionate about. I love estheticians. I love this profession. And I just have had my hands in multiple things, and it's all created this knowledge and desire to help estheticians be successful. So that's just sort of that pulls me this way and that way, and you know how I am. I'm all over the place.
Flying all over the country to speak about the power of the Okay, so you and I met, I love
yeah.
it. Shoot, I don't know, how many years ago was that? On just when boards, chat
Had to
boards.
be, I've been licensed for almost 16 years, so it has to be that long.
Yeah, because we both owned spas that were similar,
yeah.
And not too far from each other, right up the mountain I was.
Right.
Yeah, and so you were really involved in the boards, in the chat boards online. That was before Facebook groups.
Yeah,
and,
Facebook didn't even exist back then. There was no form of communication among estheticians.
Yeah, and so you really wanted to start your own, and we all kind of branched off and jumped onto the Biz Board craze.
Let me just make that a little clearer. I didn't want to start my own. You guys made me start. You all pointed at me. Diane, you could do it.
What a great idea, Diane. You should do it. We'll help you.
That's how it really started.
I know. Little stinkers we are.
Yes. 10 years later.
It just grew. How old is it now?
10 years next year,
How
2016.
How young? Oh, we need to have a reunion. Wouldn't that be
We
fun?
need to have a party.
I love it. Okay, I digress. We don't want to take too much of their SD time.
Right.
So we met. We've been chatting about the business for years. We have been talking about owning day spas, which we both have done and both sold successfully. We have been solos in the room. And what I wanted to talk to you today, for those folks that are newbies or veterans, those folks that sugar or don't, is how much this industry has changed. From when you and I didn't have Facebook to market to our clients, we didn't have, you know, the tools that we have today that are as robust. We really had to scratch and work for it. And it's gone from that local kind of grassroots, get out and hand out brochures and chat boards for estheticians, to Facebook groups, which I know is a hot topic for you, and we'll save that for another day.
Yeah, I can go 10 minutes at least on that.
The misinformation blows our minds, and I don't want to get you hot on that, so we'll save that for another episode.
Okay.
But today I really want to do a positive episode on just how things have changed and what is really important for a newbie coming out of school, but also a veteran who has been doing things the same way. Maybe she's an esthetician for 20 years. You know, I know what I see. What do you see as just a shift in how things have changed in our industry?
Oh my God, huge question, and I'll keep it short. But back in the day when you and I started, you know, day spas, quote unquote, were popular, and day spas were created to bring the spa experience to your neighborhood. So your vacation resort experience in a day spa. And back then, products weren't really clinical. They were spa-like. And the internet was barely, when I got my license, as I recall, it was AOL dial-up. And I mean, barely happening. So it wasn't a resource. And so people had to come to us to have a facial and buy our products. And it was really pretty easy. It really was. Not a lot of competition. Okay, from there, every doctor has a medi spa now, and products have gotten clinical, and the internet has come on the scene, and really everything has completely changed. So what worked for us back in the day doesn't work anymore. We have to be a whole lot more talented and educated, and I don't mean hands-on, I mean in marketing and business and all of that stuff. So I really, and in defense of estheticians who've been working in the treatment room for 20 years, it's hard to get yourself out and follow the trends and what's going on and keep up with it. Now, we have really good resources like trade shows and trade magazines, and that's a really good source of information to keep up. But really, the estheticians have to do their own part, and that is, I really think customization and specializing is the way to go. I don't think we all have to be day spas anymore. We don't have to do everything. There's so much competition. And also, I love giving a facial, but there's probably somebody on my block that gives a better facial than me. So that's not really going to do it either. You really have to specialize, and you have to figure out what's in your neighborhood and figure out what everybody else is doing and fill that void. And things like, sorry, Shannon, I'm going to turn the tables on you here a minute, but I think sugaring is a hot thing to do. I think that's a perfect solution to the customization, one of the great options, because personally I'm a little older, I'm a woman of a certain age, and there's a point where ripping that hair off with hot wax is no longer a good idea.
The way to go.
It's not the way to go.
Yeah, so you know, I ran into an esthetician. She was very proud that she'd been doing it for 20 years, and she said, "What do you do?" I said, "Well, I'm the sugar mama." She looked at me funny, and I said, "Actually, I specialize in body sugaring." And she looked at me crazy, and she is a gal that owns the day spa. She does the manicures. She does the facials. She literally does everything in the place, right? And she said, "Oh, well, I wax. I don't know why anyone would need to learn how to sugar. I wax. I've been doing it for 20 years, and I can do a Brazilian in 30 minutes." And I was like, "Wow, that's great." Okay, like, great for you, you know? And it's not to say anything bad about waxing. It's not my preferred method.
Right.
And a lot of people have been just doing it the same way for a long time.
Right.
And, you know, I think that you bring up a really great point on, it's time to learn new things.
Something new. Can I ask you, because I'm going to upload this video on my Happy Esthetician Facebook page and on Biz Board. Would you just give me a little bit of explanation of how sugaring works and what it is, because I want them to understand it. It's a little bit tricky to understand. You've let me play with it, and I've seen you demo it, and I get it.
It looks
But
easy,
I
huh?
would, can you just
Yeah.
like give me a little
Yep.
explanation?
So I am, just for those of you who don't know, I'm the sugar mama. My clients named me that. Isn't that cute? Because I'm a single mama and I sugar. And apparently
And you're very
you need,
sweet.
And apparently you need to have me in your speed dial. So, you know, sugar mama on call. And then I started iSugar University to train and inspire other sugar professionals. And the reason why I love sugar and why I have focused on this niche is because I was doing the luxury facials in my tourist day spa in Lake Tahoe. And then I moved down to the Sacramento area, and I needed to start over again and reinvent myself. And so it was the recession, and facials were kind of getting cut out of budgets, and I needed to, as a single mom, quickly figure out how I was going to feed these two boys because they're hungry.
Yeah, I have one of those. I know.
Yeah, and I actually got sugared, and I'll answer that question for you. But I got sugared and went, okay, this is different. No one's doing this in my area. I need to get good at this, and I need to get good at this quick. And so sugaring is a form of hair removal. It's similar to waxing, but I tell people it's made of lemon, sugar, and water, and it's in a ball that you roll on the skin. It's room temperature, so there's no...
But it's not like something you can just make yourself. Get some sugar. It doesn't work that way.
You get it from a professional company that's licensed and insured and, you know, makes a consistent batch. I mean, technically, they, in Egypt, made it, you know, over the hot stove, but dear God, please don't do that.
Yeah.
And it's used similar to where wax actually rolls over the skin and shrink wraps around the hair. Sugar actually goes against the direction of hair growth and seeps down under the skin, wraps around the bulb and the shaft that's underneath the surface, and slides the hair out in the direction that it grows.
Right.
And on your topic, I love how you've turned this on me, by the way.
Well, I mean, I think it's fascinating. I really do. Sorry.
No, it's good. And this is kind of the point, right? So everyone else has learned in school to slap the hot wax on, to slap a muslin strip on, and to rip the hair out against the direction of hair growth. And what I found is that every single client that has come into me books every 4 weeks, shows off their goods and their smooth skin. Maybe it's a chin or a lip, but how smooth their skin is and how little irritation there is. And I quickly figured out as a businesswoman, okay, if I can get these people back every 4 weeks, it's a heck of a lot better than a seasonal facial, which is every couple of months.
Right.
And I've got to really focus on how I bring people back in so that I can have a salary and something to count on.
And it's new and exciting.
It's new and exciting.
I mean, if I was in the treatment room all the time, which I'm not, I would be following everything that's new and exciting because there's so much competition out there. I don't want to do what everybody else is doing. And I think you're a perfect example of there's something really new and exciting and everybody needs to just jump on it. And
you know, it's sugaring for me literally saved my career. I mean, I had a great career as a day spa owner. I could have rocked a facial like the best of them. My personality is to talk a lot, so facials were tough for me because I had to zip it in the room. And so I like talking, and I sell twice as much product because I can talk. So I'm constantly saying, hey, did you forget your sunscreen? You know, and put that up on the counter for them to purchase. So I'm still selling skincare and talking skincare.
Right.
But I've really focused on what it is for my client that is better for their skin.
Right. Right. That's the point. Right.
Right.
Exactly. And waxing the lip, and you know, everybody after their lip has been waxed, it's swollen, it's red, and you know, that's a easily wrinkled area. It's just not the way to go anymore. I don't wax my lip.
For you and my clients that, you know, are not 20, I opt for sugar every time. In fact, I've chucked the wax pot. I don't even use the wax pot anymore because I don't want that warm product, you know, causing any damage to the skin.
Yeah.
You know, so again, it's focusing on, I truly believe I went from being an expert at all, you know, the knowledge of all, to, you know, a jack of all trades, but a Jill of nothing.
Yeah.
You know, I knew a little bit about a lot of stuff because I went to trade shows and I bought equipment, and, you know, I learned little bits of everything that I possibly could. And then I said, wait a minute, why don't I just be amazing at one thing?
Right. That's the way you got to do it these days.
Yeah.
Seriously. Either one demographic or one area in the skincare world or a specialty service, it's really the way to go.
Yeah.
Because if you're just still trying to do everything, you're going to just blend in among the masses and you're not going to end up successful. When we started, that worked. Not anymore. It doesn't work anymore.
I went and spoke at Paul Mitchell School about a month ago, and there was, all these little newbie students. They were darling. I loved them. And they were all dressed in black, all the same. And I pointed out, I said, okay, all of you do hair. Yes, great. All of you are wearing black. You all look the same to me. Yes, great. Except for the ones with the really curly colored hair and the mohawk. Those were fun, and I pointed them out. But I said to them, okay, you all cut hair, right? Yes. You all color hair. Yes. What do you do? Does anyone in this room do something that's different? And of course, they're newbies, so they don't.
They don't know. Yeah.
But the point is, if you're sitting in a room with estheticians that all do just facials, so what makes you amazing and different and needed?
Right.
Do you specialize in balayage? I just learned that word. It's a hair thing, apparently. Do you focus on, older women's hair? Do you focus, not to say you can't do a younger woman's hair or you can't do a perm, but what are you amazing at? Mm-hmm. And your clients need to know that. Right. And I love this point because I think as a newbie, you kind of go, hey, what do I want to be great at? And as a veteran, you need to ask yourself every couple of years, what am I amazing at?
Right.
And focus on that. I mean, back when I was a day spa owner, I would have never guessed I was going to be the queen of the Brazilian. Hello.
Yeah, I know.
So,
well, that brings up a point too about new estheticians right out of school. I remember we were all in school thinking, I'm going to work for this much money and I'm not going to take less than that, and I'm not going to work for someone who's going to pay hourly. What I know now, the first job really should just be a starter job, because you can learn on somebody else's clients and make those mistakes on somebody else's clients. You can use products and figure out what products you like. You can figure out what services you like to perform. It's still part of the learning. It might not be the best paying job. It might not even be in the best place. And maybe what you learn is what not to do. But you take that, and then when you're ready, you already know what products you want to get into, what equipment you like to use, what services you're good at. And that, to me, is a really smart move, rather than I'm going to come out of school and be the premier esthetician in the land. Yeah. Just don't worry about that.
You know what I did? I don't know if you know this about me, but when I got out of school, I actually went to school in Las Vegas.
Oh, my goodness.
A bunch of showgirls. Yeah.
Wow.
And I knew who to thunk. And so me and the showgirls, we went through school together. I did a lot of waxing back then. And when I got out, I actually went to the best spa and worked the front desk.
Ooh.
Actually, while I was going to school, I started working the front desk. And I went to every single training they had, from Theodore Thomas Roth and Darfan and some of these amazing product lines. And I sat in the front and I learned and I listened and I sold product and I learned how they sold product. And I was fine with bringing up product and not being in the treatment room for a while, because I wanted to see
it's all part of the process,
right? And then I would go sit in the room and, just sit there and experience it and look at the, room and how did it feel. And then I became an esthetician and started doing facials there, because I knew a ton and approved myself.
Helps.
Yeah.
Totally helps.
Yeah.
I think the thing that's probably helped me the most in my career, of all the different things I've done, is when I worked at the Be Well expos. Do you remember those that I worked on?
That was awesome.
That was awesome. And it probably most educational for me, because I was dealing with consumers and the public. And hundreds of them, because I did that event for 3 years. Yeah. Hundreds of them. And because sometimes estheticians stay in their group and we have our own language and we talk about the same things, even on message boards. But really what we're trying to do is satisfy the needs of the consumer, but we don't really talk to consumers other than our own clients. I, however, am blessed to be able to do that in many different forums. And that one, I learned what consumers want. And that's why I know what estheticians need to do to fill that need. And I think sometimes estheticians don't have access to these people in masses like I have. Yeah. So you're absolutely right. It's all you learned about the people that were buying the products, and you learned about customer service, and you learned about retail sales. It's not all given a facial. That's really not that hard.
You put in your dues. It's not going to come easy. And those of you are probably nodding your head going, when I went to school, I thought I would calculate. Facials are $95.
Oh God, we all did that.
Times 8 of them a day, because of course that's what I would be doing.
Of course.
I was going to make $125,000 a year. And then I got out of school and went, oh,
Yeah.
not so much. And
Right.
then I started my own little place, and I thought, oh, I'm going to get all kinds of, because I am Shannon. I am great. And it was crickets.
Right. And I've told you before, we've talked about this. The one question I get asked the most after every presentation I give at every trade show, one question. And what is that one question that I'm asked the most by estheticians? You know what it is?
How to get new clients.
Yes.
Ah!
They have the constant, never-ending pursuit of new clients, and they're missing the whole point about how to be successful. Because if you've been in business for a year, 2 years, and you're still asking, how do I get new clients? The issue is not the new clients. The issue is turning clients into loyal clients, or new visitors into clients. That's the problem.
Yeah.
I know, totally.
And getting them to want and need to refer you. That's
Right.
what's so awesome about sugar, right?
Yes.
I mean, my clients need them some sugar mama.
Yeah.
They need my hug. They need my attention. They need my skills. They need my consistency, that they know I'm going to be at my shop. They need my attention, and they need to know that if they refer me, that I am going to give that same customer service to their 5 friends. And I'm going to tell you right now, I have entire groups of people now that come to me because I do an amazing service. I'm funny as heck. I make them feel comfortable. I'm not shy, but I make them feel comfortable. And I say, hey, you got a ton of friends. Why don't you bring them in? We'll give them a little sugar love. Show them how it's done. And they go, oh, I didn't even think about I should tell my friends.
I am going to put you on
don't even think about it.
I'm going to put you on the spot right now because of what you just said.
Okay.
You ready?
Okay.
Would you be willing to offer my Spa Biz Board members some sort of a special deal to get sugar certified?
Yeah.
You can just give me a yes or no. You don't have to give me the specifics, but would you be willing to do that?
I will, actually. And here's why. I think if you've been listening to this episode long enough, you're glued. And you are getting that there is something here. Whether it's sugaring or not, you're getting that there is something about focusing and about being amazing at one thing. Mm-hmm. And so, okay, you're putting me on a spot, so I'm spinning here. I'm going to put up a link below that is going to be for the first 10, because I think that if you're one of the first 10, that you are the cream of the crop. So let's do Spa Biz Board, because I love me some Spa Biz Board sisters. Let me open it up to Happy Esthetician.
Oh, nice.
That's a lot of peeps. I could be flooded.
It's 8,200 people as of like today. I just want you to know that.
Oh, okay. Well, let's do the top 10, and let's see who the top 10 are. And so I'm going to post a link below.
Okay.
And I'm going to give a discount. Let me think about that.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm going to pop that up.
Nice.
See? It never hurts to ask.
And I got it on film. You can't back out.
And it never hurts to get a referral, right? It never hurts to ask.
Yeah.
Ask. Inquire. Chat with us. When you see us at a show, ask us a question.
Yeah.
I've run into students, so have you, that pop over and say, I know you don't know me, and I know that you're the sugar mama, but I have a question. How did you get started? Or I'm struggling with this. Mm-hmm. We're human.
I'm so happy to help estheticians because I know they mean well and they go online looking for information. And like you said, we won't get into how I feel about some of that, but they're really trying to educate themselves. I love that about them. And I am so happy to help. And the only thing I wish they would just like maybe Google the people that they're looking to for information, like Google me, Google you. It's so easy these days to check someone's background. And you need to make sure the source of the information is good. And I believe in you. And that's why I would like to, offer something to my peeps.
I love it. I will give it to your peeps. So first 10 peeps to sign up.
10 peeps.
Yes.
Nice.
In the month of, I guess it's almost Christmas. Can you believe that?
I know.
So in the month of January, first 10 peeps. And maybe even the 11th if she squeaks in. But first 10 peeps.
Right. Thank you.
Below. And,
Christmas present. Thank you. Christmas
welcome.
present to me.
You're welcome. Because I do. I believe in the chat. I believe in the Spa Biz Board model. of quality estheticians giving quality advice to each other.
And keeping it on lockdown and not out for the MLMs and the salespeople at department stores to learn how to do everything that we do.
You know, keeping it classy, girl. It's all about keeping it classy, and that's what we have to keep our industry, is not being infiltrated by folks that have the latest snake oil and the latest, you know, magic miracle, but really helping our clients wade through that, because they're getting bombarded with the snake oil and the magic miracle.
Right.
How can we help them?
Right. Well, that's why Biz Board, I keep, you know, we've kept it. Remember the first year first year Facebook didn't exist. So, you know, it wasn't all that much information online, and we were public for the first year. Do you even remember that? And then we locked it down after a year because we wanted to be able to talk about things without sharing it with the world. And we also wanted to dissect product lines and manufacturers, and we didn't want them to know we were talking about them. And we still have a private area where we do that. Right now we're talking about a company who everybody knows really well, whose name I shall not mention, that is just on this market. They just keep calling and calling and calling people that aren't using the line anymore. And we're trying to figure out, I'm not going to tell you who it is. Don't even say.
What? I know,
you know who I'm talking about?
I've gotten like a dozen calls.
Yeah.
It's weird.
And I've told them I'm off. I'm not carrying that line anymore. And they keep going.
I never carried the line.
Really?
Yeah, that's another day.
And yeah, but I mean, that's the kind of stuff we're talking about. Well, we would never talk about that on Facebook. You know,
yeah, you got to be really careful. So
yeah.
It's kind of nice to have a safe place. So yes, baseboard.com. And then tell us a little bit about this Happy Esthetician thing you got going on.
I don't even know how that started. I don't even know where I came up with the name, other than I want estheticians to be happy. I guess I love estheticians.
And it has just gone viral. There's like over 8,000 people on it that are just loving your message, and I love it. And I love hearing you speak at the conferences and reading your articles. And you know, I tell people all the time, when you learn that thing and you master that thing, it is your obligation to share it. It is your obligation to educate others in a classy, respectful, well-educated way.
And if you don't know the answer, say, I don't know the answer. Right. I mean, sometimes we don't know. And people are so, you know, I think they just love an audience and they love to just be an expert. But if you don't know the answer, don't make something up. That's what bothers me so much about the social media. I just wrote an article for Les Nouvelles Esthétiques magazine. I think it's coming out in March. It's called The Good, Bad, and the Ugly of Social Media. And I go into all this stuff. I know.
Let's do another episode about that.
Yeah.
I love it. So you have had quite a stretch here with Spa Biz Board, 10 years. I can't even believe it. Tell me, what does 2016 hold for you, do you think?
Well, Spa Biz Board specifically, I'm really turning that into an educational resource. There's now so many chat places. I mean, of course we still chat, but I'm really beefing up the education videos, articles, things like that for Spa Biz Board. And you know, I haven't changed the price ever, which is amazing, and I don't plan to, because I'm really here to help. But besides that, I've been on the Les Nouvelles Esthétiques and Spa magazine advisory board, I think for like 5, 6, 7 years, something like that. I write articles for the magazine often, regularly for many years, and I really like doing that. I really think the magazine, that particular magazine, is just so helpful for estheticians, because you know that the sources of the articles are established. It's not just some blind person behind a computer that you don't know. And I've written a couple books to help new estheticians. Done some of the.
They do a really great job, really, you know, kind of vetting who writes for those professional magazines, which is nice, because you know that the advice and information you're going to get is strong and well researched. And
and I know that for sure, because they run some of that by me. They'll have me.
That's awesome.
They'll ask me about terms and things, and I research it when I don't know it, and I help. So I know that that's actually true, what you just said. And then of course the other thing I love, and you know you love, is the International Congress of Aesthetics and Spa. Those are in Miami, Dallas, Philadelphia, and Long Beach. We've been at all those, and I love doing that, so I'll continue to do that. My topics are always the business side, marketing, creating new clients.
I had a blast. I spoke in Long Beach, remember, 2 years ago. And
the most fun.
I had a blast.
Best fun probably of my life are at those shows. I just think that is just like, I mean, it's like aesthetic world on, you know, drugs. It's just so exciting, and the energy.
There's a whole science behind navigating through a trade show to get the most out of it. And just when I think I got the most out of a trade show, I see someone else with a bag of something. I'm like, how did you get that? Where did you get that? And I've got to
follow it. I tell you, my first trip to a trade show, I was an aesthetic student. I was in school, and I didn't know how to do it. There's a way, as you know, to do it. Like make a list, go see what you want to see first, and then wander. But I didn't know that, so I just started wandering, and I was like, getting samples, and they were putting it in my bag. And I went back to my hotel room because my bag was so full, and I dumped it on the bed. And nothing was together. There was like the pamphlet was, I didn't know which product went to which, I cried. I just cried. I was like, I'm overwhelmed. I've matured since then. Now I do it much better.
Did you notice that back in the day you would sniff? Oh, this must be amazing because it smells so good, right? Yeah. And now you're like, look at the ingredients on that one.
Yeah, top 4 ingredients, not going to happen. I know. I love it though. I tell you, every class, all these years, every class I take, every article I read, there's always one enormous pearl of wisdom that I pick up. And even if I'm thinking, I don't really want to go to class, my feet hurt, I need a cocktail, but I'll go to this one class and I walk away going, I am so glad I went to that one class. I got this one thing. And it keeps you current and inspired. And to me, that's the most important.
Yeah. And even if you're new and it's all bright and shiny, or if you've been in it a long time, when you can be rejuvenated and just refreshed and just start your new career,
go to a trade show. Go to a trade show. Just saying.
I love it.
Yep.
To you for hours, and I think we need another episode. I really think that we have a lot of great stuff to say, and I hope that you have enjoyed being on this Sugar Show.
Loved it. Love you.
It's fun.
So proud of you.
Fun stuff. Thank you.
One of my spa Biz Board girls.
I know.
Made it to the top. I love it.
I love it. It's so great, and you will be seeing us both up on stage at some of the conferences and conventions that there are, and we are just happy to share good, classy information with all of you.
Love it.
Thank you so much, Diane, for being a part of my life and a part of now the Sugar Show and other people's lives. And I love it. Let's keep on keeping on.
I'm honored to have been asked. Thank you for having me.
Thanks, love, and we will see you all at the next show.
All righty.
Bye.